I met over 1,000 commercial and industrial customers over the last 3 years, advising them to go for rooftop solar solutions and thus enjoy huge savings in their electricity cost. And one of the factors that they have told me that what they are looking for is the lowest tariff so that they can save huge amount of money. The ingredient for saving huge amount of money is not only the lowest tariff. You also need to have a knowledge about right tariff structure that you should sign up for depending upon which state and the regulations that you have, so that you can increase your IRR NPV from that investment that you are making in that rooftop solar solution. Would you be interested in knowing this? Stay tuned. So in this video, I'm going to break down for you the 3 types of tariff structures that are prevalent in rooftop solar solution that you should consider so that you can maximize your cost savings and the ROI from the rooftop investment that you're making, and also in which situation, which tariff structure to consider. So first, the most common structure, which is a fixed tariff structure. As the name says, the tariff is fixed for the life of the project. Let's say if you are signing for 15, 20, 25 years, the tariff remains fixed throughout these 25 years. So that's the definition of a fixed tariff structure. Typically in a state where the differential between your current variable grid tariff, let's say in Maharashtra for example, the variable grid tariff is 9 rupees, and let's say solar landed tariff becomes 4 or 4.5 to 5 rupees. Typically in a states where the delta is very high, like in Maharashtra, you should go and sign up for a fixed tariff kind of structure. This will give you a good amount of savings over the life of the project because the delta between a variable grid tariff and a fixed tariff is very, very high. Second tariff structure that you should be aware of is escalating tariff structure, wherein the tariff in the initial years are at lower level, but it escalates at a fixed percentage which gets negotiated while signing the PPA for a rooftop solar solution. So in states where the difference between variable grid tariff and the solar landed tariff is less or small, or let's say less than 1.5 rupees, in those states you should ideally consider escalating tariff because in the initial years you can get a far better savings. For example, states like Uttarakhand, states like Himachal or Sikkim, where the tariffs are around 5.5 to 6.5 range and the solar tariff is around, let's say 4.5. So the delta is only 1 to 1.5 rupees. In those kind of states, you can sign up a tariff which is escalating because your year 1 tariff will be lesser, and then there is a fixed escalation which is fixed for the life of the tenure. Third, which is called as the grid linked tariff structure, and this is my favorite tariff structure. This will give you huge amount of cost savings as well. In this tariff structure, use whatever your year 1 tariff that you're negotiating, plus there is an escalation which is linked to grid. The escalation is not fixed, unlike in an escalating tariff structure. Here in the escalation is linked to how much percentage increase in grid is happening. For example, in your state, the variable grid tariff is 6 rupees. The landed solar tariff is 4 rupees. Next year, the variable grid tariff increases to 6.6. So thus 6.6 versus 6, there is a 10% increase in the grid tariff. So similarly, the tariff of your solar tariff will also increase by 10%. So it will be 4 rupees 40 paisa next year versus the 4 years 4 rupees that you have signed. So the entire escalation is linked to how much the tariff which is getting escalating in the grid or de-escalating in the grid to the escalation is linked to it. And this is important because typically in India, in different states, the tariff remains constant for 4 or 5 years for the political period, and in the next 5th year period they suddenly increase it by 10, 12, 20%. So you don't have to pay 2% escalation like in an escalating tariff earlier. Constantly there will be escalation which is linked to grid. And as I said, states where the tariffs are lower like Uttarakhand, Himachal or Assam or Puducherry or Kerala, where the difference between variable grid tariff and solar landed tariff is lower, this is the most preferred tariff structure because this will give you a far more savings. So having understood these 3 tariff structures, you would have already decoded or understood that it is not the lowest tariff. It is also the tariff structure which will help you give the maximum ROI, NPV and the huge amount of cost savings while procuring a rooftop solar solution. So before I end this video here, I want to tell you, tariff structure is a science. I have not yet covered all the structures because essentially it depends upon your requirement, your business challenges. It is highly customizable. So focus on this customization first, then chasing the lowest tariff, because otherwise you'll leave huge amount of money on the table. There are many other ways to structure the tariff. And in case you want to know more about the tariff structure, bring it in the one-to-one free consultation meeting that we do, wherein we understand your specific challenges, decode it, design a tariff structure for you that you can take. I'm sure in this one-to-one consultation of 1 hour meeting, you'll get at least 100x value against the time that you're spending with us. I'm looking forward to see you in my video and in a one-to-one meeting. Thank you.